Splatoon, otherwise known as Nintendo's version of a multiplayer shooter because that totally wasn't invented in 2015, is a game born from the simple thought that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was so bad that Nintendo decided to surprise the entire world with one of the best FPS games ever made. In this game, you play as the fourth legendary video game protagonist, Inkling Female, on her fresh AF quest to shoot ink everywhere like it's an adult video, save a giant fish from fish people, and get slaughtered by Japanese men by playing in online matches whilst cosplaying like it's My Dress-Up Darling. This is the game that started one of the most beloved shooters on the market, and it's the game that took the concept of FPS games and asked the simple question: how can we make it fun for kids? With this game's now third installment on the way, it was about time that I touched on this game. So, grab your splatter shots and ink because it's about to get wild. This is Splatoon. We immediately get to pick our gender after we boot the game. Jeez, Nintendo, I didn't know you were sexist immediately, like good lord. Also, I'm picking the girl because who plays a male at a video game, am I right? Picking our skin tone and eye color is rather simple to do. I'm just going to copy my look IRL. Don't call me fugly or else bad things will happen. We load to find that the game can't load itself, and then I realized that, oh, this game has motion controls. Alright, well, that's the video. Alright, thanks for watching. Just kidding. After some digging, I learned that we're gonna have to complete the tutorial before we can go into the options and turn off motion controls. But if you're curious as to how I'm even managing to use motion controls right now, it's through the right mouse button via a separate gamepad screen that's off camera. Thanks, Nintendo. Super original. So, let's stare at this segment that I'm going to call Cancer the Video Game. Gee, Nintendo made this game? Yeah, I couldn't tell based on the color of the game or the language that Inklings use. Yep, totally. Nope, I couldn't tell at all. Now, for the best duo in all of gaming, Callie and Mary, who apparently host a podcast inside the small room in Inkopolis. I wonder if they're going up against Trash Taste for the best podcast of the year. That's totally a convincing fish. Yep, totally, I'm not hallucinating. Nope. Okay, that just looks like a disc with some spaghetti on it. Yes, ink battles are a sport. So you're implying that shooting people with guns is a sport. Okay, let me just call every person in Texas to a stadium real quick. Booyah Bay sounds like something Cyborg from Teen Titans would make, and if that wasn't their inspiration, then I will be pissed. Yes, don't go down there, he'll sell you some cursed shrooms from another franchise called Mario. I then proceeded to pause and decided to go to the weapons store by accident, which managed to somehow crash the game. So now I get to go through that podcast again. Why is this pain? But don't worry guys, the game is now playable, because we've managed to turn off motion controls. Let's go! Anyways, let's head through this sewer pipe to an unloaded land and meet Captain Cuttlefish, who, in the midst of wanting to cuddle, wants me to tell you that only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind. This is the story mode of Splatoon, with the main goal being to clear levels to find and save the Great Zapfish, who, now that I'm thinking about it, practically has the same status as Bigfoot, because we've never seen him, yet everyone else has. For the sake of today, we're going to clear all the levels in the first area of story mode, and later do a full online round of Turf War. So let's go and hop into stage 1 and get a montage of all of this juicy, inky goodness. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now, because I sound weird. This music goes hard, holy crow. It's in doing all of this that I want to talk about the gameplay of Splatoon, because it's actually pretty simple. You spray ink to do damage and color the ground, and you can slide through it to traverse up walls and across said ground, and use other weapons like bombs, missiles, and so on to kill enemies and players. And honestly, that's probably why I've always loved this game, because of how simple its gameplay is, when you consider that this is basically a Call of Duty game made by Nintendo, and unlike Call of Duty, this game does not have pay to win. Good job, Nintendo. You're doing good. Now, why would I care about story in an FPS game, especially when it's about a big fish that I don't care about? I actually paused my recording without realizing it and captured nothing of stage 2, so whoops. So let's head into stage 3. The stage that apparently is looking at a battle between Wario and Waluigi for best man at my wedding. Behold, the Tree of P. I then acquire the Ink Zuka and absolutely destroy everyone in my path. I feel like I've done that before. We climb the moving platforms and complete the 3rd stage and open the boss level. What is up, guys? Boxu-chan here. Today I'm going to penetrate my enemies. Alright, I'm never saying that again. This fight is pretty straightforward, requiring you to ink the side of this box to climb up and ink the Eldritch Horror on top of him. I will give credit here that this is actually a really great use of using ink to climb surfaces, so props to Nintendo for a solid first boss. Although, I will question, how does ink work in the same way that electricity does to power things? Surely somebody has noticed this, right? Just saying. We then get a crotch shot as he explodes and covers the screen with our own ink, presumably, and finish the level. Let's now go take a look around Inkopolis for a bit before we head into online play. No. You don't seem to understand. I want the shrooms now. Hey look, it's the amiibo stand. You know, that forgotten thing that Nintendo tried to make work. Now, however, I did say that we were going to do an online turf war match. So, let's do that. But before that, I gotta show you the best game ever made. Squid Jump. You're able to play this while waiting in the lobby for players, and honestly, I actually love this little game a lot more than I should, and I feel like I'm, kind of addicted. We are also joined in this legendary battle with people such as Joe Smith, Ichiro from any isekai ever, several Japanese people, let's hope they're ladies, and a mushroom from the Mushroom Kingdom. It didn't take long before we had a full lobby, so let's see how Turf War ended up going. And, small reminder, I haven't played this game in years, so I'm mildly rusty.
Hello there.
Double kill. Triple kill. Double kill.
Alright, so now I'm in squid heaven, so with this, let's review. Splatoon is a fun, classic, and downright fantastic game to play for anyone. Its gameplay is fairly straightforward and is both simple yet fun. The controls work beautifully, combined with other things such as the art, music, world, and combat is making this for an outstanding title. Splatoon 3 is releasing in a little under 2 weeks from this video, hence why I wanted to make a video on this game now rather than later. I do love these games, and while I most definitely 100% will not be getting Splatoon 3 on launch, because that's unfortunately how things work, I will pick it up eventually, and when I do, I'm going to enjoy it without going online for the same reason from 10 seconds ago. But sadly, it's time to end. My name is PandaPowerSauce, remember to stay saucy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.